back at the Vino Rod. That's Bolo, and I'm Robert. So stick around, we're going to do some more repair on the side. All right, she's looking pretty good. I used 80 grit to get it down, and then I'll take a 120 to it, and then some 150. What I was trying to accomplish from the beginning was trying to put together the trunk area as close as I could to a 30-31 trunk. So if the profile, it narrows back. So once I take the camera and show you guys the detail there, you can see that it slopes like the 30-31 trunk. So that's pretty much what I was trying to accomplish best I could with the, without bending the wood. This wasn't heated up or whatever they do. They wet it and they heat it and then they bend it. Well, I didn't do any of that. This is the profile that the pungent barrel, like I said in a previous video, is that you can see this is where the lid goes in right here and the lid goes in right there. So I used the whole stave, that's what they call them. And I ended up using the whole barrel on the top of the trunk. And these are the lids pieces. And the pungent barrel only gave me enough material to pretty much from the top there to right here. So that's pretty much how I came up with this length. So this fit pretty good. Hopefully you can see the grain pop out a little better as I put a little moisture on it. Hopefully you can see that. So I just kind of give it a little bit of fine tuning. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. Using a material that was reclaimed. You know, like these holes right here are from the nails that they use to put the bands in with. So I've got to deal with that. You can kind of see here, this was actually my second side and it turned out worse. Imagine that. But, you know, I had to take, when I was putting this corner together, you actually can't just, it wasn't working out to where I could just put them together and just keep that continuous radius along it. Every time I put one on there, it kicked it up. So to fix that, I ended up cutting little, I beveled them. And it was some work. I mean, none of this stuff isn't work. But this trusty old belt sander right here did most of it. Just holding it and trimming it down until where I could get them to fit as close as I could. But like I said, because it's a reclaimed thing, you know, but I want to try to get it as close as I can. Just because it just gives me a warm and fuzzy if I get it as close as I can. And what I'm able to do with some of this stuff is just like it's really not good of a carpenter you are, it's how good of a magician you are. So what you can hide, more than likely, it won't be noticed. So what I can do with this pin here is I can follow along some of this grain here. Yep, just that ugly. And that was just a hole that was in the wood, so I put some compound in there, sanded it down, and then I can kind of continue the grain in there. And then when this gets stained, it'll cover a lot of that stuff up. And the nice thing about it is if you screw up, you can always get your, come on now, where's my eraser? Here it is. You can get your eraser out and tone it down a little bit. All right, well, what's happening is I just didn't get this glued up good enough. So that was a lesson that I learned. I just didn't, I was just assuming too much with this material, and I'm having some places where it's splitting. And what happens is this, because this material moves, that during the summertime, the wood will what is it? It heats up, so it will swell, and in the winter time when it's cold, it shrinks. So I put a little bit of compound in there, and it's pushing out. So I'll take this one and repair it. This one here and repair this one. The rest of them seem to be fine right now. But here's one that I can feel on my fingertips that it's a little proud. And I've had this sanded down pretty good. But this piece, I'll show you the profile, but this thing, kind of, it's cattywampus. I mean, it comes down at an angle and that way at an angle, so it isn't like I can put a straight edge on it. Let's see which way does it go. Yeah. It's pretty dang close. Straight up and down I can get, I've got it pretty straight. But this way I can't get it straight because it dips. This little marker is pretty nice. It's real close to that red wine color. It hides some good mistakes. Well, no, it's not a mistake. Come on. It was meant to be that way. Yeah, pretties it right up. Yeah, so it looks like I can just use that 80 grit to knock it down, get it close. I think I've got like 3/4 of an inch till I get to the framing, and these fellas right here they're about 1 inch thick. So that gives me enough profile to sand down. Get you guys over here and get you guys a better look. These are French oak wine barrels. And I live on the Central Coast, California. It's a big wine area. If any of you guys are familiar with that movie Sideways, that was filmed here locally. And I got these barrels from the Sisquoc winery. It's a little, used to be a ranch out here, out in an area called Sisquoc. and ran around out there when I was a kid, and they had vineyards out there when I was 16 years old. So it's been quite a while, if you can tell. But yeah, so let me get you guys over here to take a peek-see at this. And then what I'll end up doing is, I'm real happy with the way this turned out here. I'm going to be taking this one out. This one, it's not coming apart, but hey man, I got that magic pen. Dang, maybe I ain't taking it out. Because it's not moving. It's just not as tight as I would like it to be. And Andy, don't be thinking like that. Oh, Andy from Turlo's Garage. That's a cartoon character right there if you haven't seen that guy's videos. Turlo's Garage. You know what? I just saved myself some work. I just saved myself some work right there. Purdied that thing up. I purdied it up, guys. I purdied it up. And what'll end up happening is that when I get a stain together that pretty much replicates that cab, I'm liking it. Don't you know that'll hide a lot of issues? What are you guys thinking, man? Hit me up if you guys want me to maybe put some fenders on this thing. Mill these up to where I can get them square. Come out with about, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them. Thing is, I might have to heat these up and bend them so I can get a nice curved radius. When I get the rear end back underneath it, I can get a better idea where to bring them around. All right, let me get you guys over here. Hey, careful around here. Don't get yourself hurt. Let's start with the is that back far enough? There you go. Up from the top might be better. You can see that angle. And then here's the one that I just replaced right there. Now that didn't turn out too bad. I'm not going to show you the real worst spot. Yeah, see if you can. This area here is squeezed out. Okay, fellas, we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.